So you got one of these and you want to try to figure out how to make this thing work. You don't, you got it and you never seen one before. You see them on TV, you think of doing it. Well, this is baseline. This is as basic as it gets. This is a instructional of I just bought this thing. Here we go. We're going to figure out how to do this together, and I'll show you. It's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Alright, Ferro Rod 101. When you first get this thing, it's got a coating on the outside of it. It's a paint coating to protect the metal. You want to get something and scrape that all the way off. The striker that comes with it will work fine for that. You just scrape it all off, get it all away. You want to see bare metal right there where you're going to be hitting, and that's what you want. If you're just starting out, I advise you to get one of there'll be a striker plate that comes with it. Use it. You're going to be better off with it. It throws a better spark and it's a little bit easier to use. I just have used one of these long enough. I just use my pocket knife right where it meets right here, and I can get a good spark off of it that's good enough for me to get by in the woods with, and I don't have to carry an extra piece. I'm going to show you a few things here. I'm going to give you just a basic 101 on this, show you how to use the striker, and we'll build a little fire here. We'll get this little started here just to show you. I'm not going to keep it going. I hadn't gathered no wood up to build an actual fire. I'm just going to show you how to start. If you can get this tinder right here going with the starter piece in it, then you can take a fire up if you know what you're doing. This is just to show you the ferro rod. If you want to see a video about actually how to build a campfire and how to start it from there, let me know, and and drop something in the comments. We can go from there. Stick with me after I show you this. Then I'm going to come back and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some of my stuff that I like to carry with me in the woods that works really good with the ferro rod for fire starting materials. All right, but for right now, we're doing the ferro rod. Ferro rod. Once you get this scraped off, get your striker. You look at your striker that came with it, and it'll tell you this side up or this side down. And you'll look, it has one edge of it we've got a really sharp, crisp edge, and that's what you want to use. That throws the best spark off, and that's the side you want to put toward it. And it says this side up, that's the side that faces you when you hold it. I'm just going to use my knife. I'm hooking it right here. When you do this, you're going to hold this up here and get it right over what you want to start, and you're going to hold stationary, put pressure. If you start, just go slow. If you start seeing sparks, you know you've got the pressure right, and then pull the rod out. Hold your knife stable. To me, this is the easiest way for a beginner to use the ferro rod. You just hold that knife steady, point it right at what you want to start the fire with, and pull that rod quickly, and that'll throw the sparks right down there into what you're doing. I got a tinder bundle with some better kindling in the middle right here to start it with. I'll show you what that stuff is here in just a little bit, and if you stick around for the second half of the video, I'll go over all that kind of stuff. But right now, you're just going to hold this right here, point it right at the center of that, and usually you're just going to hold that right at the center of that and throw a spark right in there. And when that spark catches, then just bring your burn nest up, and you got your fire. And if you want to if you're wanting to build it up, then you get your sticks and lay on it and all that, and you build your fire. I'm not going to show you how to build a fire, but it's that easy. I mean, it's that simple. Everybody worries about it. If you're getting a good solid spark and it's going where you want it, then you're doing right. The main thing is getting that spark and getting it to go into your tinder. The kicker is having the right tinder to start with. We can and that's what I'm fixing to show you here in just a minute. Stick with me. Hey everybody, I tried to keep that just as simple and quick as I could for y'all, just to make that as basic as possible. There's not a whole lot to the actual work in the striker. Once you get the technique, get a good spark, you've got it covered. But if you're enjoying what you're seeing, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment if you got anything to add. We're a new channel that's growing. I'm just trying to get some videos out, but it's been a slow process getting everything lined up. This next section will be about some of my favorite basic fire start materials, so let's go. All right, y'all. I'm going to show you. This is some of the simple fire starting things that I like carrying at different times. Just want to go over some of these little basic things for you. This is dryer lint, just pulled out of the lint trap in the dryer. If you want something that the easiest thing to start that you can get, this is it. Problem with dryer lint is it has to be kept dry. I usually, if I'm gonna carry it with me to start a fire with, I keep it in a Ziploc bag, curled up and rolled up in a little small tube and put somewhere in my pack because it has to be kept dry. But you can, if I can get the wind's blowing, messing me up today, and I got a new Ferro still, so this is usually, that's a first strike type deal right there. Usually the first hit, 1 or 2 strikes, and that thing is going. Dryer lint is one of my favorite things to use. It is awesome though. Let me show you a little more realistic. And you can see, that's how it usually strikes right there. I got a lot of wind blowing out here outside today, so I have to be careful. But it's easy to accumulate. It's something you have to take with you. You have to keep it really dry. Probably the next best thing is cotton balls. You can get them and fluff them out. And it's about the same thing with the cotton ball. You take these cotton balls, you got to keep them dry. You got to keep them in something waterproof. But they make a good fire. It's quick, dependable. It's just one of those deals that always seems to work good. You know, but you have to have special things to keep these in order for them to stay dry, where they will light for you good. Now, a little bit more dependable, a little bit longer acting thing is your cotton balls with Vaseline on them. Now, they're a little messy to use. The good thing about these is with the Vaseline, they will burn a little bit longer. They hold up a little bit better when you got wet wood, when you're trying to get a fire started and it takes a minute. That Vaseline will keep that cotton ball burning really slow. So if you're dealing with wet conditions, this is a little bit better. You have to keep it. They're a little bit more nasty to carry around with you. You have to have a little bit different container for them. It's just according to what you want. But this will burn a long time with that Vaseline on them. You're creating more of a candle with this than you are a quick, fast fire starter. But that would have burnt. It just barely was burning, and I can tell you, regular cotton balls and dryer lint will not burn nowhere near that long. Now, what I prefer these days is, this is just jute string, jute twine, and I just keep a length of it hooked onto my striker. Jute is probably one of my favorite things now. It's the same thing as the other. If you're in wet conditions, you have to keep this stored somewhere out of the weather. But you've got a fire starting. All you got to do is take that and tease it out. And the more you tease this, the better it is for striking. It doesn't work quite as fast. Usually as the dryer lint or the cotton ball, you're kind of getting a little bit slower, but it lights good. And it's a dependable, I have it on my striker, if it's we're going to be in wet weather conditions, you know, then I fall back on something else just to be on the safe side to make sure I've got fire starting equipment. But that jute twine is really kind of become my favorite. I always have a spool of this, a length of this in my pack when I'm primitive camping. So even if I don't have a striker, I've got some in my pack. If this gets wet in my pocket, then I can always pull some out of the pack off these. But that's it. That is the quickest, easiest things that I know to carry with you, where you always got fire starter with you. One little tin. You can take a tin and just put cotton balls in it. You can get 6 or 8 cotton balls in that thing, and you have got you all sorts of fire starting stuff in the world. Dryer lint is the easiest. If you're just starting out, nothing starts as good as that dryer lint. I mean, it starts almost first strike every time. There's no way you can mess up with dryer lint. Cotton balls is not far from it. If you flip that cotton ball up, it starts just about as good. But you have to worry about keeping this stuff dry. You have to keep it out of the weather. The tin will work for most conditions if you put it in a little tin like that, some kind of waterproof trailer. If you don't put it in a Ziploc bag, even better. A lot of times if I know that I'm going out several days bushcrafting in the woods and I'm bringing a ferro wad, I'll put dryer lint or cotton balls, whatever I want to use. I'll have my jute string on my striker, but then I'll take one tin and I'll put I'll fill it with cotton balls. I'll put cotton balls in a Ziploc bag, squeeze all the air, roll it as tight as I can, and it will barely fit inside that tin. Wad it up. I've got dry fire starting equipment. Sometimes it takes more than one cotton ball. A lot of people use the Vaseline. I'm not a big fan. It's messy. It's nasty. You get the Vaseline all over you. It does burn better. If you think that you're going to be in predominantly wet weather, this is the way to go. It burns for a long time.
Hey, I sure appreciate y'all tuning in, sticking out to the end of that video with me. Hopefully I made that concise enough and informative. If y'all got any questions from there, you know, leave it in the comments. I try to keep it just a base level video on this. Of course, there's a whole world more information I can give you on that kind of stuff. But if you like what I've got going, I encourage you to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification there. That way you'll see when I do post videos. I'm not posting real often yet, but I'm trying to work on it. But if you're interested in that video and you think you might see something, look at something else that I've done, I've got a video on my hunting kit from last year over here, and I've got a video on like a first part on arrow making from primitive material off of shoots and stuff like that. But anyway, you feel led, check it out. Sure enjoyed your time. God bless.